Hello Sagittarius. Hello. This is your tarot reading for the month of May 2016. This is a very general reading. If you'd like a private consultation with me, please send an email to niazad@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. All the information is below. I'm going to use the Barbieri Tarot, which is beautiful, and the Mini Connolly Tarot deck. Oops, there's a hair here. And I'm going to use 24 cards. It's going to be the astrological wheel spread with 12 houses. Each house has 2 cards. And in 24 cards, 9 major arcana cards came out for you, which tells me that this might be an eventful and transformative month for you, Sagittarius, May 2016. Now let's start. For some of you at least, might be a very, might bring a few changes for you, Sagittarius. The first house, which is the house connected with you, with your personality, with your body, with your perspective, the way you see things, the way you filter any type of thing that comes to your consciousness. Also, the facade, the way others see you, because they see first your personality. This is like a more one-to-one basis, because the 10th house is also how others see you, but more on a society level, more on a community level. In your case, the cards that came out for you were the Two of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Two of Swords and then the Ace of Cups. I'm going to read this as an inability to make a decision about, I would say, your love life. Trying to make a decision, but even though the Ace of Cups came out after the Two of Swords, I'm still going to say, because of the rest of the cards, I'm still going to say that you were unable to make a decision for a very long time, and maybe throughout most of this month, about your love life, about the partner, and maybe at the end of the month or sometime during the month you are able to make a decision about a partner. The second house, which is the house connected with the way you earn your money, your financial resources, also with immaterial values, you have the Strength card and the 10 of Pentacles. So first is the Strength card and then the 10 of Pentacles. I would say that your job gives you lots and lots of security, financial security and stability. It's the type of job that many people now don't have, which is like the job that you are safe financially, that pays good money, and a job that you know that you can stay up to your retirement, a job that gives you all the benefits and all the rights. You're very secure, and you're gonna retire with a very good pension, that type of job. However, it kind of requires you to have strength and courage and determination to keep in this job. So you need to find strength within yourself. You kind of need to force yourself to be in it, because it offers so much stability. The third, if it's to do with immaterial values, I would say that you like the traditional values of society, that those are your values as well. The third house is the house connected with studies up to the 12th grade, but not necessarily something that you do not connected with not connected with higher knowledge. Higher knowledge is college type of studies, but something that you do nothing to do with finishing up your high school education, something outside of that. I think you are already finished your college. You're up to the 12th grade. To me, to these cards, in relating to these cards, it's done. You might be studying something that gives you, the cards that came out for you were the Empress card and the Eight of Pentacles. You might be studying something that gives you tremendous joy and satisfaction, and you like this so much that you are very diligent and persistent in your studies. Like you go to work and then you come back from work and at night you study this new course that really gives you joy. And this new course might also bring you, not immediately, more abundance and more prosperity. That's why maybe you are diligent in studying it. You know, it might serve you, it might serve to increase your credentials in your professional life. Therefore, by increasing your credentials, it will increase the money that you earn. Another way of reading it is you might be writing. You might be writing something that really gives you joy and satisfaction. It can even be like, you know, a love book or an erotic book or something like that, but you are very diligent and you're very disciplined in writing this book. If it's not a book, it might be some other type of creative project. It might be digital art, for instance. Something you might be, I don't know, taking photos and then digitally altering them on Photoshop, something like that. Something creative that really gives you pleasure. But you are diligent, you are disciplined, you are constant. Another way of reading these cards, because it also connects with your siblings, it might be that maybe a sister is pregnant, and you know, if it's not a sister, maybe your brother is his wife is pregnant. Or if it's nothing to do with pregnancy, some sort of success and abundance and prosperity comes into your sibling's life, one of your siblings or all of your siblings. And this prosperity and abundance is due to the fact that he or she is a very hard worker. Could be that as well. The fourth house, which is the house connected with your family, with your family clan, with your mother, with your house, your home, the place where you live, you know, your domestic life. You have the Magician card, my favorite card always, and the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius. So I'm going to read this as you attract a house using the law of attraction. You manifest the house that you want and you move. And you move rather quickly. So there might be a change in residence, I would say, for you. And it might be connected with your love life or with your... because there are other cards here telling me that there might be some, you need to change, you need to go to a different house, go and live somewhere else, because your love life, your relationship, it doesn't matter if you're married or not, or if it's a long-term relationship, things are difficult and you finally decide to move. So, and you do it like that quickly, and maybe during part of the month you really had like a very difficulty in making a decision in terms of your love life, but finally you are able to make that decision because things are not going well in your love life. To some of you, not to all. Then there's the fifth house. You can read this also in a different way. The fifth house is the house connected with children, with your love life, with sex, with fun and games. You have in this deck, in the Barbieri Tarot, this is the Justice card. And then you have the Eight of Swords. So that this is why things in your love life are not going well. You feel that you're trapped. You are unable to leave this relationship. And this relationship might be very karmic. That's why you're like stuck in it. But at some point you make that decision and you leave. Maybe the right house for you appears and you just go. Or if it's nothing to do with your love life, it might have something to do with a child. Let's say you have a relationship with a child which is really karmic, and you are kind of stuck, you kind of feel prisoner in the relationship, you feel like a victim. I'm going to give you an example. It doesn't mean that this is the same for everyone. Let's say you have a special needs child and you are trapped. I mean, you have to take care of your child. This move to a new house, it might be due to your special needs child. So you need to move to a new place because your kid requires special attention and requires a type of house that is in conformity with his needs or her needs, or something happened to your child and now he or she needs to move in a different way, so you need to find a new place, and that place kind of materializes like kind of out of the blue and you move. Okay, so your love life is also in your first house. One of the cards that came out was the Ace of Cups, and I always see this card as a new birth, as a new child, connecting to children. So your child might even be very small, even a toddler, and everything is fine in your love life, and the things, and these two cards together in the fifth house might connect more with a special needs child. The sixth house, which is the house connected with your daily routines, your work environment, the work that you do every day, your health, also your pets. I think the fifth house is also your pets, your colleagues, your co-workers, the people who work for you if you are the leader. The cards that came out were the Moon. I know this is different. It's really cute. And the Five of Cups. So I can read this in many different ways. Your work environment might be very stressful and might bring you disillusionment and disappointment and pain and sorrow. You might like the security and stability that your job offers you and all the benefits and all the great pension gonna have, but the work itself, it's awful, it's dreadful, it fills you with pain. Or your colleagues, if you might be very type of down people, like just very negative people, or they might be bullying you. Some of you might be bullying you and might be spreading lies and might be, playing games with you, and just might be colleagues who are just liars and cheats and they just lie and they spread lies about you and they deceive you. And so the work environment itself, it's dreadful and you might hate it very much. Another way of reading this is like your daily work routines. If everything is okay with your colleagues and they are all great and fabulous, it might be, or this, if it's not colleagues, are the ones who work for you, so they might not like you. So you are the boss, you were promoted, let's say promoted, because there are other cards here that indicate me that tell me that, and the ones who work for you don't like it. They just don't like you as a boss, and that really fills you with pain, and they spread lies about you, and they are really disappointed that you are the boss, and so that kind of might fill you with stress, in pain. So you yourself, you are the boss, and you might be the one who's bullied by the ones who work for you. Another way of reading it is that the daily routines that you have to do all day long, so from morning to night, might be really stressful to you. Imagine that you really do have a special needs child. So you have to, you have daily routines and duties in your house, and then you come to work and you have to do the work, but it's really stressful. So the work that you have to do every day in your job and outside your job, everything that you have, that is the thing that fills you with stress. Or another way of reading this, it could be that you might be told during this month of May 2016, Sagittarius, that you are ill. Some sort of diagnose of your health. There might be health issues that really give you sorrow, and that fill you with sadness, and everything was going well. Let's say that you have a good job, a good in terms of financially, you feel secure, you feel stable, everything is going right there, there's no type of problem. And let's say that you did have issues with your partner, but finally during this month of May 2016 you find the strength in you to leave your partner and to move to a new place, a fantastic place. But the thing that it's not so positive is that you might be diagnosed with something. I don't know what. There might be health issues. The 7th house is the house connected with your partner, long-term partnerships, wife or husband also, contracts, open enemies, competitors. There's many different meanings. You have the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. You have Swords cards. So, because the 8 of Swords showed up again on your 5th house, I'm thinking it's love issues. It's in terms of your love life, your long-term partnerships, things are not going well there, and both of you are miserable, very miserable. It's just not. It isn't just you. It's both of you. It might be that you feel like a victim and unable to set yourself free, or it might be that your spouse or your partner feels like himself or herself like a victim and like trapped in this marriage and unable to set himself free or herself free. You're both miserable. That's what I'm thinking. Another way of reading this is everything is okay with you and your spouse and your partner, and everything is okay in your love life, but he or she might be, your partner himself or herself might be very sad because, let's say, you were diagnosed with something, you have health issues, and that's why he or she is very sad. Another way of reading it is that there's some sort of issues with his own life or her own life. So there might be problems with his job or her job. There might be family issues that have nothing to do with you. Something could have happened like out of the blue, and this is causing him or her pain, and it has nothing to do with you, and your relationship is strong. The 8th house, which is the house connected with shared resources, also the house that called the house of death, the house of taxes, the house of sex for intimacy. It has many meanings. The cards that came out for you, Sagittarius, from May 2016 were the Death card itself, number 13, and the Knight of Swords. So there might be like a sudden change, big transformation, and it's rather sudden and might even be felt like violent in your shared resources. So let's say you have a big quarrel, a big discussion, a big fight with your partner. Things are not going well in your love life, Sagittarius, for some of you, and you have a big fight. You're just fed up with it, and you just move. You just move to a new place, and so there's less money. There's like a very big change in the way. There's less shared resources. There might be a very big transformation in your shared resources. Another way of reading it is that there might be some sort of accident, a car accident. I'm thinking car accident, but not necessarily. This could even be plane accident or not accident. Right now I just thought about, plane crash that was not an accident. I hope it doesn't happen, okay? Because there's problems with terrorism worldwide, all over the world. It isn't just in Europe or US or Africa. It's all worldwide. So imagine that something happened, like a death, a sudden death, an accident, an attack, a violent death, and there's a certain transformation in your shared resources because there's an inheritance. Could be for you or could be for your spouse. I'm thinking more your spouse or your long-term partner. So this is why he's so sad or she's so sad, because he or she lost someone violently. You will be getting, I would say, an inheritance like money from that, but that doesn't matter because your spouse, your partner is so sad because of this. Another way of reading it, okay, there's many different meanings, please just do not freak out, okay, do not freak out, is that there's a very big, gigantic transformation in the department of your taxes. So you thought you and your partner always paid more or less the same, but now in May there's like a big tax bill, and that type of tax bill is the type that you're gonna get all from now on, okay, because the death card indicates a transformation. There's a before and an after. This is like permanent transformation, and the bill that you get, you feel it, it's rather violent. It's like it feels like they're robbing you, both of you, and like a big here in Portugal we pay IMI, it's called IMI, it's Imposto Municipal. It's the county tax. If you own a house, you have to pay that tax, and it depends. It can be once a year, it could be 3 times a year, kind of depends. So it's something like that. So whatever, or they put you on a tax bracket, which is like something that will take more money from you, and they don't even tell you. They just, So that might be the very big transformation in your shared resources, because like the taxes now, the tax bill is just enormous. So it might be that as well. Many different meanings, okay? Many different meanings. Another way, the 9th house, which is the house connected with law, justice, the values that rule your life. Also, the second house also has to do with values. Your values, the things that you value, also self-value. Also, the second house. The 9th house has to do with long travel, like traveling abroad. Also, what else? College, when you go to college or university, higher studies, it's connected with the ninth house. It's also connected, it's called the house of God, but it's more of organized religion. You have the Temperance card and the Queen of Swords. Many ways of reading this. Let's say that you are really studying something, and you're studying it out of love also, like I said, in the 3rd house, but it's something that kind of helps it gives you serenity somehow. It's like a study of something that brings serenity into your life. But this thing that you're studying, is going to give you credentials that you can use on your professional life, in your career. It could be that. It could be something to do with, psychology. Also, psychology. you're studying to be a therapist of some kind, you're studying psychiatry, how do you say, psychiatrics, something to do with the healing arts. So the healing arts, but it would be maybe something that could give you like a traditional credentials, I would say, for some of you, not all. It could be something that has done, that it's really deep thought, really deep study, and you're really committed to this study that really requires intelligence and long-term study, and you want to be an expert in this, even if it doesn't give you credentials. It could be something to do with the occult, with spirituality. It could be astrology, tarot, runes. It could be something metaphysical, something to do with the metaphysics. Another way of reading this is that you might have a very big quarrel with a in Portuguese, you call it cunhada, sister-in-law. Why do I say sister-in-law? The ninth house is connected with the in-laws, and the figure that showed up is the queen. So I'm thinking sister-in-law. And she might be from a air sign. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. She might be on her late 30s or after the age of 40. And if you are having problems, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, if you're having problems with her brother or her sister in terms of love, you are married or you are partnered with her sibling, and you moved because both of you were miserable, and the relationship that you used to have with her was very serene, very balanced, and suddenly she just defends her sibling and just has like a big fight with you. It could be that, or it could be that you are fighting this sister-in-law due to a possible inheritance. It could be that as well. So there's many ways of reading this. The 10th house is the house of career, profession, vocation, your role in the world, in the community. Also the house of the connected with the father. You have the Ace of Pentacles or the Ace of Coins and the Justice card. So I'm thinking promotion. You're signing a contract, and in terms of profession, your vocational career, everything is going fine and great and fabulous. Honestly, that's what I'm seeing. You have a promotion, you have more money, you have stability. The ones who work for you, or even they don't like it. But in terms of career, profession, everything is going right. Or another way of reading this, it might be a decision, a judicial or court decision connected to your work, your job finally comes out, which also connects with the 9th house, because the 9th house is connected with law, and the Queen of Swords might be your lawyer, for instance, or might speak of a judge. That I'm thinking more lawyer, or a judicial or court decision that comes out, and I would say in your favor, and something that was due to you. Maybe you should have a bonus, or you should have been paid some sort of benefits. You should have been paid something, and your colleagues are assholes, or something is happening in your work environment, and that was denied from you, and you had to go to court. And finally, in May 2016, the thing which is owed to you in terms of money is given to you finally, and justice is again in place, and justice is done. Okay. I'm not thinking exactly that. I mean, it could be true for some. I think for the majority, there's like an expansion in terms of career. The 11th house is the house connected with friendships, long-term goals, plans, wishes, hopes and wishes. Is also connected with the money that you get from your career. And the cards that came out for you were the Two of Wands, or the Two of Rods, and the Queen of Wands. And Sagittarius, to me, this is you. because the Queen of Wands is someone from a fire sign, Sagittarius, you, Leo or Aries, and you are again promoted to a leadership role because the people who are in authority, the people who promote you, recognize that you have talent. That you have talent. What is that? It's a book. You have talent, you are very creative, you are very charismatic, and they recognize that you are an asset to their organization, to their entity, to their company. They recognize this. That's why they give you a promotion and a leadership role, and maybe everyone in your work environment is jealous, really jealous. They're really jealous, and they're being really mean to you, and this makes you sad. So that there might be jealousy there. Another way of reading it is that you have fulfilled a long-term goal, you have fulfilled a wish, and in a very successful way. Yet another way of reading it is that this has nothing to do with you. It might be connected with a friendship, and a friend, and she might be a fire sign as well. She might be popular, charismatic, creative, talented, very sexy. She might be a Leo, a Sagittarius or Aries, and she might accomplish something in her life. She might achieve some sort of success. You know, there's a very big achievement in her life, a completion of a goal, something very good, very positive in her life. And now finally, the 12th house, Sagittarius, you have the High Priestess and the Four of Swords. So this is the High Priestess, which is beautiful, and the Four of Swords. I think you are quietly and secretly reevaluating your life during this month of May 2016, Sagittarius. It's like you're asking yourself, now what? But more in spiritual terms. So not just in terms of financially, but on a large sense, or more in a spiritual sense. Like, now what? You are reevaluating and thinking about your life as a whole, and you're doing it secretly. Or it could be that if you are ill, I hope not, you are keeping this illness a secret, and you're not sharing this with anyone. You're keeping it quiet. Or another way of reading it is that you are studying the occult, because the 12th house is connected with the hidden, that which is hidden. So you are studying the occult. So this study that you're doing is connected with the occult. It gives you tremendous satisfaction, and you are doing it because it really pleases you, but you are doing it in a rational sort of way, in a logical sort of way, but it's still connected with the occult or the metaphysics somehow. Or you might be starting, like, meditation. You might decide, okay, I'm going to meditate from now on during this month of May every day. I should be doing that as well. I know. I tell that to myself every day. I should meditate. So you might be doing that for you, as a beginning, as your own personal spiritual practice that you do, and you might do it like, you might wake up before the hour that, let's say you wake up every day at 7 a.m. for you to go to work. So you decide to wake up at 6:30 and do this, or at night. You might do this at night before you go to bed, and you do it in a secret sort of way, like meditating or starting a spiritual practice. Somehow, might not have to do with meditation, something else, and you're doing it secretly, not telling anyone, just keeping it quiet and hidden, because it's sacred. Okay? And everything which is sacred must be hidden. That's it, Sagittarius. This is the reading that I have for you. I hope you like it. I hope you have a good month. And if you'd like a private consultation with me, please send an email to duniazad@gmail.com. I'll be delighted to work with you. Bye bye.